You doing? Sorry about the noise. It's a bit distracting, but I just wanted to catch up with you and talk about your whole journey with East Sussex Works. That's the program which I work on here. Reflecting back, when was the first time you heard about East Sussex Works and myself?
I think it's through connections, and that was sometime late last year, I think. Was it like September, November sort of time, I think, maybe October.
And who referred you?
I think it's Michelle Flux.
Oh, yeah, Michelle, that's it. And so what did you think when Michelle Flux gave you that call to actually say you've got a new person to work with? What did you think at that time when she gave you that call?
I don't know, I've done quite a lot of different things to try and help, and some of the people that say they're going to help you really don't help that much, or sort of aren't that enthusiastic, or aren't bothered. But that's not the experience here, and I found everything that you've done was sensible, and you've never given me any jobs to apply for that I can't do or aren't related to my goals or the skills I have.
Was that a common thing of going somewhere and someone trying to make you apply for a job which had no interest in?
Yeah, I've had that before in a number of different places, where I've been made to apply for jobs that I couldn't do, not because I don't want to, because I don't have the skills to be able to be successful.
So, with your time with working over at East Sussex Works with us at the college, how many jobs do you think you've applied for?
Oh, it's quite a lot. At least 20.
Yeah, at least 20, or maybe more.
And all of them, they've been really good applications, I think, as well.
So do you think the overall quality of your applications have improved as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. And from that, have you got any, have you had, within the period that you've been working with us, have you had any interviews or anything?
No, I've not had any interviews, but I've seen how the quality of my applications have massively improved. I think that's going to help.
Yeah, well, you've been having, I think since I've met you, I think you had, within the time you've always been applying for work, you've got feedback from mostly the stuff that you've applied for, which is better than no feedback at all. Yeah, you had the interview at Bexhill College.
Oh yeah, I did. I had that one.
Yeah. Obviously, you had the one at Eastbourne Library as well.
Oh, because that's the voluntary work I was doing there.
Yeah.
I think it was quite good in the end. I really enjoyed it.
Did you enjoy it? Yeah. That's what else? I'm sure since I've been working with you, you've had probably the most interviews out of a lot of people. Sometimes it feels like you had no interviews, but you've put in a lot of work. So. What's the current arrangement? You come in when?
Well, normally I email you, and then we arrange some time when I'm free, and then I come in and we see you, and then we sit down, find some jobs either that I've found or you found or both, and we apply for them.
So if we go back into the memory banks and we think about you applying for the volunteering role, what was it about this volunteering role? What kind of grabbed your attention?
It was sort of related to IT, which is sort of the rough area that I want to go. It's sort of customer service, helping people. It was those sort of things. So it's sort of the skills that I was doing currently, plus where I went to end up. And I enjoyed doing it. I found it helpful, I think. Okay,
so to actually gauge your interest, to say you was interested in that position, was it did you do a covering letter, or you done a covering letter and you done an application as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I remember when I went to the interview, I was the successful candidate, and I was told that I did particularly well in the interview.
How did you feel in the interview? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Was it different to interviews you had before?
No, it was like other interviews I've had, I think.
So it was still treated very
seriously? Yeah, it was treated as a proper interview.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously sometimes a panel, sometimes one person you see, but in this case it was two people, and it was done exactly like a normal interview.
Yeah. So how did you feel when you were successful as well?
Yeah, I was quite pleased with that.
Yeah. And then you started out working, where was you working?
It was Eastbourne Library.
Eastbourne Library, yeah? And what was the role?
I can't can't remember what the exact name of the role was.
Was it digital skills advisor?
That's it, yeah.
Yeah. And what did that entail?
It was helping people on the computers in the library, mostly revolving around doing sort of things like learn direct courses and helping them learn and progress with them.
That's good. That is good. So it's kind of in the skill set of IT as well, and teaching some skills as well. And I see from your CV that you're great at customer service. You've got like good experience in working in different places as well. From this experience, I kind of wanted you to get like our aims was to make you apply for something which you were interested in. We don't want anyone coming on board and sending them in the wrong place, because you've had some bad experiences with this.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, what experience have you had?
Well, I had an experience where I was with one agency, I suppose you'd call them, and they knew my skills that I had and everything I could do. It was all explained to them, and I kept on being sent to do things like cleaning in Tesco's, which wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't the skills I had to be able to do that job properly, and it wasn't where I was, it wasn't where I wanted to be, so it wasn't the job that I was going to end up sustaining.
And that, being in that situation must feel quite frustrating.
Yeah, it was frustrating.
Must get you down as well, like morale will be down, and yeah, I could understand frustrations. So how did your experiences from this work placement differ to the last ones? What made you more happier with these placements?
It was completely different. It was exactly what I wanted to do. It was exactly related to the experience I need to have to be successful in the career that I want. It was fun. I enjoyed it at the same time, and it was exactly what I needed to be.
Another interesting role which you did get an interview for. Unfortunately, you wasn't successful, but to be invited in for an interview these days in this time and age is a good thing as well. So there was that interest from them. It was the Betts Hill College job. Was it an IT technician job?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So did you enjoy that interview?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So that's another positive we can take from that as well. Also, your CV as well. We tampered with your CV and gave it a little remix, and then you added some further bits to it as well.
Yeah, which I think I've got quite a strong CV now, which is good.
And do you think it sells you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you go and do various CV workshops and bits and pieces, but they never get anything that's particularly brilliant.
Yeah.
But I think what I have done here with my CV is good and does stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that reflects as well. Another thing which we kind of introduced with yourself, which was kind of a test, is when we're doing applications, they can be so boring as well. And doing a little simplified sheet of the answers. Most of the answers are the same, but to think of an answer off the top of your head all the time is...
So when you've got one, they don't need a lot of change to make it fit into another application.
That's it. So that's something we can take away, better applications for jobs as well. And you're continuing to do that. So I heard that you've got an email today for a job you applied for as well?
I have, yes.
Yeah, who's that with?
It's a company called Hastings Direct, so sort of telesales type of thing.
Yeah, so that's another positive as well. So I think since I've met you, the 4 or 5 months we've been working together, you've increased the amount of responses you get from interviews, which is, I still think that's a very good
I'd agree with that, yeah. I think
Definitely.
the amount that I've got has increased.
Yeah, we just spoke about how things you can probably take away, positives as well. Also wanted to speak about, would you recommend this to anyone else?
Oh, I would, yeah.
Yeah? Why would you recommend it to someone else? What would they find useful from working in East Sussex Works and doing the same stuff
because you've helped me do my CV and I've ended up with a really good one, whereas the time I've done it before it hasn't. You've helped me regularly with applying for applications, you've been flexible, so when I've really not had the time, or because I've been doing voluntary work somewhere else or I've had something else to do, we've been able to fit it around that and make all the time work out.
One thing about yourself as well, I think today was the only day where I felt is Daniel turning up? And I've never had that with you. Like you're always on time, and today you was on time, and I was just. You just left it right to the last minute, and I was like,
the train was delayed.
Yeah, no, I've never had that with anyone, but like you've always turned up to your appointments, and I think something which is commendable with people who've been on this program is that they turn up, and we're only going to send the people who are interested in jobs to these places and try and get them out there. Yeah, so also as well, I met your mum, which was pretty good as well, and I think it's nice to actually know, like, to get the full history of like background of where you may have been let down in the previous. Yeah, your mum came to our first meet. Where was that again?
It was, so we met up in Bexhill.
Yeah, in Bexhill. It was just a normal park bench where we sat down, and which was flexible on both of our parts, but sometimes you need to do that to make a meeting happen. So yeah, that was good as well. It's good to even speak to your parents. So yeah, it's good to have them on the journey with us.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think, like, employers looking at this visual or hearing this interview, what do you think they could take from yourself? Like, what have you got to offer? You've got so many skills which I've learned about. How would it benefit a business who are interested to hire you?
You know, I'm hard working, you know, I'm enthusiastic. So I've always turned up on time without any issue. You know, I have got all the skills that I have, you know, so I've got good IT skills, I've got all the customer skills where I'm used to working with the public.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that would really fit in working well in a company.
Yeah.
So, and the skills I've got working in a team.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I've got to agree with you on that, definitely. So where would you like to see yourself in the next few months? What is your focus now from the skills you've learned from this program? Where do you think you can actually take it even further now?
At the moment I'm trying to find a job.
Yeah.
And so I've told you about the one that I've applied for at the moment.
Yeah.
And my hope is that I'll have one, you know, within the next few months.
Yeah. So we're getting into that stage. You've done a lot of volunteering work. You've gone back and learned extra skills. The stuff that I've taken from your volunteering, that wherever you volunteer, they give you additional skills. They give you additional responsibility. Like, what do you do at the Sarah Lee?
I started off at the Sarah Lee. It's well over a year now. I was sent there with the job centre as a mandatory placement to do 2 weeks.
Okay.
And when the 2-week placement ended up, I chose of my own will to stay there. And I enjoyed it, carried on staying there, and then you just want to do pack testing. So I put my name forward to do that, put on a course to do the pack testing, passed that, and then spent several months doing pack testing for them. I then opened a new shop up, which I helped with. They needed a new key holder, so I asked for that, and that was given to me. And then after another month or so, it was given to me as a permanent role.
Congratulations on that. It just shows like what you can do with a little opportunity and where it can go. Like a little 2-week opportunity can turn into something more positive. And I think the work you've put in, it's just been great. No, it's nice to have you along. Oh no, thanks for popping in for a discussion.
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.